Meanwhile, the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is in Rome today meeting the Italian Premier Giorgia Meloni. Their focus is clamping down on migration via boats that reach their shores illegally. Now, Starmer and Meloni hail from different sides of the political spectrum, Starmer from the centre-left and Meloni from the far right. They are not, though, their natural allies, but on this issue, the pair are looking for common ground.
We also discussed the challenge of irregular migration. This is a problem across Europe for both of our countries in particular, but across Europe. As Director of Public Prosecutions in Britain some years ago, I saw the important work that can be done across borders on issues like counter-terrorism. And I've never accepted, as we discussed, that we can't do the same with smuggling gangs. And now, of course, Italy has shown that we can. You've made remarkable progress working with countries along migration routes as equals.
Well, our Rome correspondent Seema Gupta has been listening to that press conference this afternoon. She's with me on the programme live now. Seema, tell us a bit more about what was said.
Well, essentially on the issue of migration, which is something that we knew that they were going to be discussing. Clearly, they were talking about intensifying their cooperation on this issue, dealing with illegal immigration and fighting those smugglers. Ms. Meloni, the Italian Prime Minister, talked about putting in a system in place where both countries' police forces as well as intelligence services could make the laws of the country work better to deal with the smugglers, which are very powerful and strong across the world. She said no country alone can deal with these network of smugglers, and that the fight or the struggle to deal with this issue has to be brought to the countries of origins from which these migrants leave, as well as the transit countries. Italy, of course, has seen a 60% drop in the number of migrant arrivals crossing the Mediterranean and coming into the country in the first half of this year as compared to the same period last year, partly due to deals that it struck with countries like Libya and Tunisia in trying to stem the migrant flow, deals that have led to criticism, particularly from rights groups who believe that some of these deals are being made with countries that have dubious rights records themselves. Mr. Starmer particularly talking about the situation that Italy has put forward in the decision to process asylum seekers, male asylum seekers in Albania. And that is something that they said they're very interested in looking at. They're simply exploring. But Mr. Starmer also making it very clear that he believes in adopting a pragmatic approach in dealing with this issue. They want to study what Italy is proposing in Albania. And he believes really deterrence is really the most effective way to deal with the issue of illegal migration and trying to clamp down on those people, smugglers. The two leaders also touched on the issue of Ukraine, of course, both of them supporting Kyiv's right to achieve peace, the issue of the authorization of weapons to be used on Western provided weapons to be used on Russian territory. A question was asked on this. Ms. Meloni saying every single country has to decide how they want to go forward. For Italy, they're focusing on defending the civil population. She appreciated Mr. Starmer's support as he thanked Ms. Meloni and the Italian government for their leadership on the issue of Ukraine, and said each country, Ms. Meloni essentially said each country has to decide how far the risk is of a possible escalation in every decision that they make in every day.
And Seema, on the question of immigration, as I say, Starmer and Meloni coming from very different sides of the political spectrum, can they really find common ground on that issue?
Well, we'll have to see. And you're absolutely right. I mean, you've got Keir Starmer, the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, someone who's coming from the Labour, the centre-left, and then on the hard right, on the opposite side, you have Giorgia Meloni and her far-right Brothers of Italy party and her right-wing coalition that's running the country. I think they're both, though, united in the pressures that they are facing in trying to curb these migrant arrivals onto their shores. And at the moment, with those numbers going down so significantly compared to 2023, Italy, at least in terms of numbers, is looking like this potential success story. For Mr. Starmer's part, he wants to show himself as dealing with the issue of immigration, but we understand from reports that he's also receiving criticism from backbenchers of his own party, as well as those rights groups who are saying that what Italy is trying to do is questionable, dealing with those other countries, and perhaps how is this project in Albania going to actually work. Ms. Meloni, during that media conference, making it very clear that arrangement with Albania to process asylum seekers is not in any way, according to her, breaking any EU or Italian laws. So she feels this project, which she said should be up and running in some weeks, will be a way forward and perhaps an example to other countries. And I think that's what Mr. Starmer is here to find out more upon. And he did, in fact, bring his new leader of a task force to deal with this migration issue in the UK. That person was travelling with him in these meetings with their Italian counterparts.
Seema Gupta live in Rome. Thank you.